time. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rains, no sleep. Every day I work my thumb. I don't get to take off. A hater get up. I'm ready like lift off. I never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long. I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go. Passport. I'm just trying to live. I don't know what the mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib ain't getting money. You gotta ask for it. I'm tired of complaining. I gotta change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day, but that don't stop.
Welcome back, Jimmy G. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Jimmy Garoppolo and the rest of the 49ers are looking forward to a healthier season in 2019. They get a road test in the opener as they take on new coach Bruce Arians and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll be back at halftime with a look around the early games. But first, we'll get over to Tampa. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, well, it wouldn't be Florida without this. A heavy tropical rainstorm coming down just prior to kickoff here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. The veteran kicker, Robbie Gould, set to get us started. And off we go from Tampa. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a carry by the third-year man. This is Austin Eckler. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Now, this series between the 49ers and the Bucs began back in 1977 in Tampa Bay's second year in the NFL. It's been a series that the 49ers have dominated, 17-7 overall, although Tampa has won the last 2 meetings. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. Running on first down, Eckler. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ready? Black 22. Check 56. Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go. Wait,
on third down, Winston. He's going to air one out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now here are the 49ers under third-year coach Kyle Shanahan. And they're led out by a guy who learned from one of the great ones in his first few years in Tom Brady. This is Jimmy Garoppolo.
When you're a backup to one of the all-time great players, if you don't spend time picking that guy's brain or just watching and observing how he does things to increase your game, then you've wasted that time. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that type of a player. I think those lessons learned have a chance to transmit themselves very well.
Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Let's go.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now a man who really stepped up last year. This is Matt Breida. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. From the 44, Garoppolo. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. Check 43.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Ndamukong Suh gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Garoppolo finding Goodwin, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. They're trying. To keep the drive going. This will be played. Number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
25, check 25, check 25.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
On second and goal, Garoppolo toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal?
21.
Garoppolo looks to throw. He finds McKinnon, complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They converted once earlier on this opening drive, but now comes a big test. 4th and goal.
11.
Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. And that is going to be incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Bucs defense, they'll celebrate the goal line stand. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done. The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Winston throwing complete to Mike Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Winston of the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. On the ground, it's Eckler. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Let's get this.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. 30, the 20, 10, touchdown, 49ers. Dante Pettis. 83 yards as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, the game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern. On second down, Eckler. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
It's third down and 6. Single, slop. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Winston from the gun on third down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Well, remember. Tevin Coleman was in the two-headed backfield in Atlanta during his 4 years there, along with Devontae Freeman. Now he joins a crowded backfield in San Francisco. But in Atlanta, he played under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, and then, of course, Shanahan becomes a 49er head coach, and he made it a point to go out and snag his former running back because he really likes his 26. Year-old ball carrier.
First down, 49ers.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
21.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Lavonte David making his presence felt in the backfield.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
On second down, it's Coleman. And the Buccaneer defense for the second straight play, flexing its muscle by forcing a loss. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you across state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. That's going to be caught by Samuel. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? Garoppolo going to go on 4th down. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they could do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now 14-0. That time, a 9-play drive. And Tevin Coleman polished it off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Here comes Pettis on the return. So we are at halftime here in the open. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for them.
21. Here we go.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 18 yards, 1st down Niners.
Here we go.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
One, Omaha.
On first down, Garoppolo gets this one to use check. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it a second down.
Here we go.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Garoppolo. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by David Amerson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Jameis to throw it. He'll get this to Eckler. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Winston. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
On the return is Pettis. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Man open, it's Goodwin. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. They'll run on first down. Coleman. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. We often give... Credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Tevin Coleman. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And shutting him off, now open field.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
On 1st and 10, Winston. That's complete to Auclair, the tight end. These fifth-rounders, and to use him as an example, maybe you take a little bit of a flyer on someone, hope you hit goal.
Exactly, because when you get into the fifth round, you're usually not counting on him to become a starter right away. But we've seen so many times, fifth, sixth, seventh, undrafted free agents who come in and make their way, and in a big way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Here's Winston. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Dee Ford coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that.
It seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Garoppolo. It's caught by Coleman. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. There's Garoppolo to throw. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. $12 yards on the return that time. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score Niners 21.
Throwing on 2nd down. Winston. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on
From the gun, Winston. Got an open man, it's QT. And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Winston now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there of playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They will run again with Coleman. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Here we go, here we go. 11.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
21.
Garoppolo now, 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Now Garoppolo. His throw caught right around the 6. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Here we go.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Jerick McKinnon, 2 years in the making, gets his first 49er carry. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And he is going to lose yardage here. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
The quick slant caught. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, it's not just catching it, it's seeing it coming toward.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Tevin Coleman with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. To throw again on 2nd down. Winston. Open man is QT, complete.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Jameis now on first down. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Throwing again on 2nd down. Winston. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Pettis once again the target, but it's going to be 2nd down. Coleman now. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4.
65. Hey, go.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate. Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up in what's been so far a tough game for them. Completes it to Coleman. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So the victory here for San Francisco. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Niners, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll have another road date next week with the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.